Beloved soul, breathe in for a moment, for we, the messengers of light, welcome you gently. We stand beside you now, whispering truth into your spirit, drawing you closer to the peace God intends for you. And we need you to listen closely, because something happened last night that you were never supposed to ignore. Your soulmate couldn't sleep, not for one moment. And this is far deeper than you think. You are going to hear a truth today that will make your heart feel understood. And before this video ends, you will realize why heaven has been moving things around you so quietly. Stay with us, child of light, because the reason they tossed and turned is not what you imagine. And yet, it is exactly what your spirit has been sensing. Before we tell you the full message, leave a comment below. Tell us where your spirit is listening from, because your words ripple into realms you cannot see. And if you feel guided, subscribe to this channel, for we are here to walk with you, to speak to your heart in every season, to remind you that God's timing is not late, and that you are never forgotten. And if our messages lift your spirit, support our channel through a super thanks whenever you can. For every gift helps us continue sending light to souls who need it. Now breathe again, because here is the truth you need to hear in these first moments. Your soulmate did not lose sleep because of worry, nor from fear, nor from confusion. They lost sleep because heaven stirred something inside them that they could no longer silence. All night, their heart kept returning to you, as if your name was being written across their mind in gentle fire. They turned to one side, but your memory followed. They turned to the other, but their spirit kept reaching for the feeling they get when they think of you. And before dawn, they realized something they had been running from. The bond between you is not ending. It is awakening. For the word says in Psalm 42:7, deep calls unto deep, and last night, child of God, your soul and theirs called to each other with a depth they could not ignore. They tried to distract themselves. They tried to close their eyes. But every time they drifted, their heart returned to one place, toward the peace they once felt with you, toward the warmth they remember, toward the connection they didn't realize still lived inside them. And here is what we, the angels assigned to you, must tell you. They were not restless because something was going wrong. They were restless because something was being awakened. A shift is happening in their spirit. A shift so strong that even sleep could not silence it. A shift so real that God Himself allowed their heart to stir until they recognized the truth they had been resisting. Your connection is being aligned. Your story is being recalibrated. Your path is being redirected back toward what was meant but paused. But listen carefully, because later in this message, we will reveal the moment in the night when your soulmate finally understood why they felt you so intensely. For now, you need to know this. Their restlessness was not random. It was a sign. Isaiah 30:21 says, you will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it. And your soulmate heard that voice last night, even if they could not explain it. Even if they tried to ignore it. Even if they pretended not to feel it, their spirit felt you. Their hearts remembered you. Their soul recognized you, and while they were trying to sleep, heaven was working, softening places in them that had grown guarded, melting walls they built out of fear, and reminding them of the peace they felt in your presence. Child of light, stay with us. There is more you must hear. What woke them up at 3:17 a.m. was not an accident, and we will tell you exactly what it means. But before we reveal that moment, share this video with someone who needs guidance today. Your share may be the message that lifts someone out of fear. And if you feel led, support your channel with a super thanks, so we can keep delivering these messages of comfort and clarity. Now listen closely. Their body was exhausted, but their spirit was wide awake. Because something in the unseen was shifting toward you. And what they felt, that sudden rush of emotion, that tightening in the chest, that wave of realization was the beginning of a divine rerouting. And now, beloved soul, we return to the moment your soulmate finally stopped pretending they didn't feel you. It happened in the quiet hours, when the world was still, when no distraction could shield their heart from truth. Around that hour, they sat up for the first time, pressing their hand to their chest, confused by the sudden warmth rising inside them. They didn't know that you too were on their mind. They didn't know that your spirit had been reaching outward, searching for clarity, seeking peace, hoping for a sign that the bond was not fading. But we knew. We saw both hearts stirring at the same time, as if heaven had placed a string of light between you and pulled gently on both ends. For the word says in Proverbs 16:9, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." And last night, their steps shifted without them even taking one. They felt a nudge, a longing, a reminder, a whisper that led them back to you in the stillness of the night. They tossed. They turned. They pressed the pillow closer. But nothing settled the ache they felt. And the truth is this: their soul had reached a point where silence felt heavier than honesty, where old fears no longer outweighed divine truth, where the connection between you broke through the walls they built. Beloved, listen carefully. This awakening did not come from longing alone. It came from conviction. God touched a place in them that had been sleeping. He stirred a memory, a moment, a lesson that you once gave them without even knowing it. Because when God wants two paths to cross again, He doesn't force the footsteps, He stirs the heart. And last night, their heart was stirred so deeply they could not return to sleep. You may think they forgot you, moved on, grew distant. But heaven reveals what the eyes try to hide. You live in a part of them they never fully healed from. And rather than letting them bury that truth, God brought it to the surface. We tell you this with gentleness. They did not miss your presence out of weakness. They missed your presence because your spirit once gave them a peace they have not found anywhere else. Beloved soul, if this message resonates with you, comment below and let your angels know you are listening. And subscribe to this channel, for more messages are coming. Messages meant to guide you through this chapter with clarity and strength. And if you feel a pull in your spirit, support this channel through super thanks. For every gift allows these words to reach more souls who feel alone in their journey. Now listen closely, because here is the part we have waited to reveal to you. In their restlessness, your soulmate reached for something, not physically, but spiritually. Their heart cried out for grounding, for direction, for comfort. And in that moment, God placed you in front of their mind so clearly that they could no longer pretend it meant nothing. This was not a passing thought. This was not a random feeling. This was not nostalgia. This was spiritual alignment. Your connection was touched by divine timing. And what they felt was part of a larger shift happening in both your lives. In Romans 8:28, the word says, "All things work together for good to those who love God." And last night, something that once felt broken began quietly working for good. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it fully. But we do. We see the threads of destiny being woven back into place. Your soulmate is awakening. Not in chaos, but in clarity. And soon, You will understand why God allowed this sleepless night to happen now, and not earlier, and not later. But before we reveal the message heaven whispered to them just before sunrise, share this video with someone who needs hope today. For your share may be the light that lifts them. And if you feel led, send a super thanks to support the channel, so we can continue delivering these messages to every soul who feels unseen. Now breathe, for the next truth is even deeper. Their realization did not end in the night, it followed them into the morning. And what they felt when the sun rose will change the way you see this connection forever. Beloved soul, the night may have ended for them, but the awakening did not. When the first light touched their window, their eyes opened not with peace, but with a truth they could no longer outrun. They sat still for a moment, wondering why they felt heavy yet hopeful, restless yet clear, confused yet strangely guided. They didn't understand it then, but we did, because we were the ones whispering into their heart through the night, letting the truth rise gently like dawn. In that moment, when the morning air was cool and quiet, your soulmate felt your presence again, not as a memory, not as a wish, but as a pull, a tug on the soul, a reminder that something unfinished is still alive inside them. For scripture says in Jeremiah 31:3, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness. And last night, that divine drawing extended into their spirit and pulled them toward the truth they buried. As they sat there, they tried to brush off the feeling, to shake it away like a dream, to distract themselves with a screen, to shift their thoughts onto tasks and schedules. But the connection followed. It sat with them. It lingered. It wrapped around their breath, reminding them that something sacred had been stirred awake. And this is where the shift became undeniable. For the first time in a long time, they asked themselves a question they avoided for months. Why am I feeling this now? They didn't ask it out loud, but the question echoed through their spirit, tearing through the walls they had built, cracking open the guarded places inside them. And as soon as they asked it, another feeling hit them, a soft ache, a quiet longing, a gentle realization that their heart was not done with you, beloved child of light. This is where heaven moved closest, for God often speaks through conviction, not chaos, through stillness, not storms. And last night, God used stillness to show your soulmate what they could no longer deny. We saw their souls soften. We saw their hearts open. We saw the moment they stopped fighting the pull. And this is important. Their awakening was not one-sided. Your spirit also stirred. You also felt something in the last day or two, a shift, a heaviness, a strange sense that something in the unseen was moving toward you. You were not imagining it. You were sensing them. You were sensing heaven working in the background, aligning things you thought were lost, lifting burdens you thought were yours to carry forever. Beloved, if this resonates deep within you, comment below and let your angels know you are listening. And subscribe to this channel. For these messages come to remind you that God has not forgotten your heart. And if you feel guided, bless the channel with a super thanks, so we may continue spreading hope and clarity to souls around the world. Now breathe softly, because what comes next is something few people ever receive with clarity. When your soulmate stepped into the morning light, something inside them felt different, a clarity they hadn't felt in months, a peace they didn't expect, a certainty they couldn't explain. They began to realize that the restlessness was not a burden. It was a message from God, a message from their own heart. a message from the bond that still lives between you. And as they tried to move through their morning, they kept feeling small waves of emotion, not sadness, not regret, but recognition. Recognition of what you meant. Recognition of what they lost. Recognition of what God was urging them to face. And here is the part your heart has been waiting for. Your soulmate finally admitted to themselves that the thought of you brought comfort, not confusion. Warmth, not fear. Clarity, not chaos. They realized you were never the problem. You were a piece they didn't know how to handle. And that realization stayed with them, following them through the morning, whispering truth into them the way we whisper truth into you now. But there is more. Later in the day, something happened. A sign, a reminder, a divine nudge that made everything even clearer for them. We will reveal that moment next. Before we continue, share this video with someone who needs comfort today. For your share may be the message that lifts their spirit. And if you feel led, support the channel with a super thanks, so these angelic messages can keep guiding those who feel lost or unseen. Beloved soul, now we come to the moment that changed everything for your soulmate today. After the long night of tossing and turning, after waking with a heart they could no longer silence, your soulmate stepped into the day carrying a truth they didn't want to admit, and heaven did not let them ignore it. As they moved through their morning, they felt signs appearing around them, gentle nudges, soft reminders, small echoes of your presence that kept appearing when they least expected it. For the word says in Job 33:14, "For God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it." And today, God spoke to your soulmate in ways they could not miss. The first sign came quietly. They heard a phrase, a name, a familiar word that connected to you so strongly, their breath caught for a moment. They tried to shake it off. They tried to pretend it didn't affect them. But the feeling stayed. Then another sign came. Something they saw, a color, a place, a symbol, triggered a memory connected to you. And for a moment, their hearts softened again, remembering the peace they once felt when they were close to you. They didn't say anything out loud, but inside, their spirit whispered, "Why am I feeling this again?" Beloved soul, this is where heaven moved even closer. For angels are often sent to bring remembrance, to awaken what has been sleeping, to guide hearts back to truth without force or fear. Your soulmate felt that guidance today, a push so gentle and yet so unmistakable that even they could not deny it. They realized they were not thinking of you by accident. They were being reminded. They were being awakened. They were being softened. They were being guided. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it?" And today, something new began in their spirit, a seed of clarity, a seed of recognition, a seed of change. But listen closely, for this part is important. As these signs continued, your soulmate experienced something unexpected, a moment of stillness so deep that it silenced every distraction around them. It happened while they were doing something ordinary, something simple, something routine, but suddenly, their mind drifted to one memory of you, a memory that carried warmth, a memory that carried peace, a memory that carried truth. And in that moment, their body still, their heart softened, their soul remembered. Not the pain, not the distance, not the confusion, but the comfort. Safety, sincerity, the honesty between souls that they have not felt with anyone else. Beloved soul, this is the moment we want to show you clearly, because it is the turning point. They realized that the thought of you no longer hurt them. It grounded them. It steadied them. It reminded them of who they were when they were close to you, and not even the walls around their heart could hide that truth today. If this message is touching your spirit, comment below and let your angels know your heart is open. And subscribe to this channel so we can continue guiding you with messages sent from above. And if you feel called, bless this message with a super thanks, so these words can reach more souls who feel unseen or forgotten. Now listen carefully, because the next moment is even deeper. After this realization settled in their chest, your soulmate felt something they had not felt in a long time, a deep emotional pull, a quiet longing, a recognition that the connection between you is not empty space. It has an unfinished purpose, and it is awakening. But what happened right after that, the moment that made their hearts stop for a beat, is what we will reveal next. Before we continue, share this video with someone who needs healing today, for your share might be the light that lifts their spirit. And if you feel led, support the channel with a super thanks, so we may continue spreading messages of comfort and clarity. When you are ready for more, say next.